Hello students, welcome to video classes. So today we are going to solve the problems based on the linear expansion or the expansion of the solids. So before going to solve the problems, I am just going to recall the formulas once. What are the formulas we are discussing from last 2 days? Okay, because without knowing the formulas, it will become very difficult to solve the problems. Okay, so first they are the solids. When I go to refer to the solids, we will have particular shape and the particular value. Due to the reason of this particular shape and the particular value, the solids will have the three types of coefficient of expansions. One is the linear expansion alpha, areal expansion beta, and the volume expansion gamma. Okay, let us write down the formulas for this. So the linear expansion can be represented by alpha. So alpha is equal to the formula is L2 minus L1 by L1 into delta T. This is the formula to find out the coefficient of linear expansion. I already told you that the coefficient of expansions, maybe in the solids or the liquids or the gases, will have the same units, and the units are per degree Celsius. Okay, the definition is also same. How the definitions will be there? The ratio of change in length to its initial length per 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature will be called as a coefficient of linear expansion. Very simple definition. Make the denominator temperature difference will be equals to 1 unit. Then L2 minus L1 will be numerator, L1 is the denominator. That is a ratio. Okay. So based on this, we can find out the final length formula also. I already told you that. Try to remember the direct final length formula. So the final length formula L2 is equals to, okay, L2 is equals to L1 into 1 plus alpha into delta T. This is the final length formula. L2 is equals to L1 into 1 plus alpha into delta T. Okay, this is the coefficient of linear expansion. Next one is the coefficient of areal expansion. That can be represented by beta. So beta is equals to the formula is A2 minus A1 by A1 into delta T. This is the formula. Coefficient of areal expansion. Units are same again per degree Celsius. We can add in the final area formula. Final area A2 is equals to A1 into 1 plus. Whenever the areal expansion is there, at the place of alpha, what you can write? Beta. So it is beta into delta T. This is the coefficient of areal expansion. After that, we are going to find out the volume coefficient of expansion. Gamma is equals to the formula is V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. This is the volume coefficient of expansion. The units are per degree Celsius. Definitions you can define same as easily. Here the ratio of the change in area to initial area per 1 degree Celsius rise of temperature is called the coefficient of areal expansion. In the case of gamma, the ratio of change in volume to its initial volume per 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of volume expansion. That can be represented by gamma. Okay, the units are same per degree Celsius. Can you tell me what is the final volume formula? Final volume V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma into delta T. This is the final volume formula. So in the case of solids, these are the three types of the expansions will be there: alpha, beta, gamma. After that, we have to explain about the effect of temperature on the density. How the density will be changes based on the temperature. So I already told you that whenever you are giving the heat energy, then what happens? The volume increases, density decreases, and the mass will be remains same. So if I write down the terms, the volume coefficient in the terms of density, then it can be written as gamma is equals to d1 minus d2 by d2 into delta T. Okay, gamma is equals to d1 minus d2 by d2 into delta T. So this is the formula to find out the gamma value or the density in the terms of temperatures or the volume coefficient. From this equation, if I write down the density, final density formula, final density means what you can write? D2 is equals to d1 into 1 minus gamma into delta T. This is the difference you need to remember. In the case of alpha, beta, gamma, and the terms of length, area, and the volume, what happens? You are going to get plus in this formula. But when you are going to refer to the density, final density, you are going to get negative sign. Why the final density you are going to have the negative sign? Because here the final density is going to be decreases. Because when the volume increases, what happens to density is going to be decreases. So these are the formulas you need to remember to solve the problems. After that, we have discussed a few applications which are very important formulas. That is, out of them, the first one is the pendulum clocks. We are going to refer to the pendulum clocks. When the pendulum clocks we are going to be taking here, when the temperature increases, what happened? The clock will lose the time. When the temperature decreases, the clock will gain the time. So if one find out the lose or the gain of the time, then there is a direct formula is there, that is delta T is equals to half into alpha into delta T. Okay, here capital T represents time and small t represents temperature. Delta T is equals half into alpha into delta T. This will gives you the loss or gain of the time in 1 second. If one find out the loss or gain of the time in 1 day into 86,400, this will gives you the total loss or gain in which units you are going to get, in seconds you are going to get. Okay, this is the formula you need to remember, which is very important for the competitive part also. Okay, right. After that, one more applications we have discussed, that is, if you want to keep the difference in the length of the two metal rods constant at all the temperatures, what are the temperatures you may increase, then there is a condition should be there. And what is that condition is, L1 alpha 1 is equals to L2 alpha 2. If this condition is satisfied, then the length difference between the two rods will be remains same whatever the temperature you may increase. Or increasing the 10 degrees Celsius temperature, or 50 degrees Celsius, or 100 degrees Celsius, whatever the temperature you may increase. But the difference between the lengths of the two rods will be remains same. The condition is L1 alpha 1 is equals to L2 alpha 2. What does that mean? The lengths of the rods are inversely proportional to the coefficient of linear expansions. That means it can be written as alpha 1 by alpha 2 is equals to L2 by L1. Coefficient of linear expansions are inversely proportional to their initial lengths. Then definitely what happened? The lengths are going to be remains constant, or the difference between the lengths will be remains constant. Okay, this is one more formula you need to remember. After that, we have discussed one more formula which is called the thermal stress. This thermal stress also, the formula is very important for the competitive part and for the PU part also. Okay, today only we are discussed about that. In the last class we have discussed about that, the thermal stress. When the thermal stress will develop, when a metal bar is fixed between the two rigid supports, and when you are giving the heat energy to this metal bar, then what happens? The metal bar will try to expand, but the rigid supports does not allow the metal bar to expand. Then immediately what happens? There is some stress will be developed inside the metal bar, that is called the thermal stress. Okay, so when the thermal stress develops, when a metal bar of fixed between the rigid support is heated, then what happens? The thermal stress will be developed. So the thermal stress will develop not only when the temperature is increased, when the temperature decreased also what happened? The thermal stress is going to be developed. Okay, if you are going to decrease the temperature, then what happens? The rod will try to contract, but the rigid supports does not allow for the contrast. That means whatever the rigid supports you are arranging, these rigid supports not allowing the expansion or not allowing the contraction. So in both cases what happens? The thermal stress is going to be developed. And the thermal stress, the formula is F by A is equals to Y into alpha into delta T. This is the formula to find out the thermal stress. F by A is equals to Y into alpha into delta T. I already told you that in the last class, the thermal stress is nothing but pressure. Okay, the stress is nothing but pressure. Pressure P is equals, what is the formula? F by A. So that's why what are the units will be Newton per meter square. Okay, the units will be Newton per meter square. So this is the thermal stress we are going to be calculating. If you are going to refer to the terms, what are the terms represents? Y represents coefficient of, Y represents Young's modulus. This Young's modulus we are going to discuss at the time of the elastic chapter or mechanical properties of solids. Because this Young's modulus will explain about the stability of the material. Whatever the rod you are fixing between the two rigid supports, what is the stability of that can be explained by this Young's modulus. About this Young's modulus deeply we can discuss at the time of the mechanical properties of solids. Just right now we can remember that Y represents Young's modulus. Alpha represents coefficient of linear expansion, we know that well, and delta T represents the change in temperature. Okay, this is the thermal stress. Now, if one find out the thermal force, then the thermal force F is equals to A is going to numerator. So that implies F is equals to Y into alpha into delta T into A. This is the thermal force, and the thermal force is measured in newtons. Okay, thermal force is measured in newtons. So while reading the problem, you should be very careful because most of the students will confuse us. Whenever the thermal will appear, they are going to find out the thermal stress. But in the problem, sometimes you may ask thermal stress, or sometimes you may ask thermal force also. So that's why before going to solve the problem, read the problem very carefully. What is asking? Whether he is asking the thermal stress or the thermal force. If he is asking the thermal stress, F by A is equals to y into alpha into delta T. In case if he is asking the thermal force, then y into alpha into A, delta T into A. So this is the formulas you need to remember. So these are some of the very important formulas you need to remember to solve the problems. Okay. Now let us go into solve the problems. So before going to solve the problems, I am just going to confirm one thing, that a few instructions. So I am going to show you the problem on the screen. Okay. For a few seconds, I am going to show you the problem on the screen. You can keep the video on pause and read the problem very carefully. Then you can continue for the solution. Because if you won't read the problem and directly come in for the solution, then you can't understand that what I am going to be explaining. Because what you are going to calculate and what the values are given in the problem, you don't know anything. So that's why every time I am going to show you the problem before going for the solution. Okay, you can keep the video on pause and read the problem very carefully and then come for the solutions. Okay, let's go for the problems. Welcome back, students. I hope all of you read the problem. So in the problem, is saying that the pendulum clock. Okay. So a pendulum clock is saying, and the temperature is given to you. It will show the correct time at 20 degrees Celsius, and how much will loss or gain when one day when the temperature is going to be increases by 40 degrees Celsius. So here the temperature is increasing. Earlier it is 20 degrees Celsius. Now it is 40 degrees Celsius. Obviously, when the temperature increases, then what happens? The loss of the time is going to takes place. Okay, when the temperature decreases, the gain of the time will be there. Okay, so let us write down the values which are given in the problem. So in the problem, they are given the temperature T1 20 degrees Celsius and T2 40 degrees Celsius. So let us say that T1 is equals to 20 degrees Celsius and T2 is equals to 40 degrees Celsius. And alpha value is given to you. How much alpha value is given? The coefficient of cubical expansion. So in the problem, the gamma value is given, alpha value is not given, coefficient of cubical expansion. How much it is given? 36 into 10 power minus 6. So gamma is equals to given as 36 into 10 to the power of minus 6 degrees is given, minus 6 per Kelvin. So the units you can use, the Kelvins you can use, or you can use the degree Celsius also. Per degree Celsius or you can use, or the per Kelvin also you can use, no problem. Okay, so gamma value is given, but what is the formula is half into alpha into delta T. But we are required of alpha value. But what value is given in the problem? Gamma is given. So how can we find out the alpha value? So to find out the alpha value, we know that gamma is equals to, what is the formula? Gamma is equals to 3 alpha. Okay, gamma is equals to 3 alpha. That implies, what I can write? Alpha is equals to gamma by 3. Okay, alpha is equals to gamma by 3. That is equals to, what is the gamma value is given? 36 into 10 to the power of minus 6 by 3. So that implies alpha is equals to 36 by 3. So 36 by 3 means how much you will get? 12. Okay, 12 is 36. So that means this value will becomes 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. Anything you can write, no problem. So now we have the alpha value is also there with us. Now it's the time to find out the loss or gain. Definitely, obviously, when the temperature increases, what happens? The loss of the time only will be takes place. And we know the formula. What is the formula? The loss or gain of the time, delta T is equals to half into alpha into delta T. But delta T means change in temperature. This is for 1 second only. In the problem, what is asking? For 1 day is asking. For 1 day means into what is going to 86,400 seconds. 86,400 seconds. This is the formula. Okay, now we are going to substitute the values. Let us substitute the values. Delta T is equals to, loss of the time is equals to half into alpha value, how much you are taking? 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into temperature difference 40 minus 20. It is 40 minus 20 into, it is 86,400. Okay, 86,400. So now we are going to simplify this equation. Sorry, it is 12. Okay, 12 into. Now this equation can be written as delta T is equals to 2 6 it will be, and it will becomes 20. 20 into 2 it will becomes 120. So 120 into 10 power minus 6 into 86,400. Okay, 86,400. So this is the values we are going to be having. Now we are going to multiply all these values. Okay, we are going to multiply all these values. The final answer we are going to get as 1036800. 1036800. 1036800 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, this is the value you are going to be having here itself, 10 to the power of minus 6, and if you are going to simplify this, you are going to get 10 to the power of minus 5. Okay, if you are going to simplify all these values, 1036800 into 10 to the power of minus 5, when you are going to multiply these values, that means 10 you are going to be cancelled here, you are going to get 10 power minus 5. Now we have to simplify this value. If you are going to remove 10 power minus 5, the decimal point will be shifted to left side or right side. When I go to remove the 10 to the power minus 5, the decimal point will be shifted to left side. How many digits we have to shift? 5 digits. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it can be written as delta t is equals to 10.36 seconds. This is the final answer itself. Okay. So the change in temperature or change in time, the change in time in 1 day is equals to 10.36 seconds. So in 1 day, when the temperature increases by 20 degrees Celsius, how much time the clock will be loses? The clock will loses by 10.36 seconds. Okay, this is the process of doing the problem. Okay, all of us must concentrate on the problem, and the formula is very, very important. Okay, so let's go for the next problem. Welcome back, students. I hope all of you read the problem. So in the problem is saying that on heating a glass block of 10,000 centimeter cube from 25 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, the change in volume is given to you. Delta V is given, V2 minus V1, and how much is given? 4 centimeter cube is given, and you have to find out the coefficient of linear expansion. But by using the given values, is given the change in volume, the initial volume is given. By the given values, what you can find out? Gamma. So first we have to find out the gamma, then after that we have to find out the alpha. So gamma is equals to, what is the alpha value means? Alpha is equals to gamma by 3. Okay, like that we have to find out. Before that, write down the values. Always remember that whenever you are solving the PU problems, don't forget to write down the data which is given in the problem. If you write the data given in the problem, obviously you are going to get half mark in the examination. So try to write down the data which is given in the problem, and it will be helpful for you to solve the problem, to select the formula. Because by using that given data, you will get some idea that which formula you are going to use and how you are going to solve the problem. Okay, that's why write down the given data first. The initial value is given to us. The initial value is given 10,000. So V1 is equals to given as 10,000 centimeter cube is given. After that is given T1 and T2. T1 25. T1 is 25 degrees Celsius is given, and T2 is 40 degrees Celsius is given. And any other values are there? Delta V is given to you. Delta V, V2 minus V1, that is equals to delta V. V2 minus V1 means change in value. How much it is given? 4 centimeter cube is given. 4 centimeter cube. Okay, these are the given values, and now we have to find out the gamma value first. After calculating the gamma value, then we can calculate the alpha value. So to find out the gamma value, what is the formula you can use? Gamma is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. Okay, go and substitute the values. That implies gamma is equals to V2 minus V1, how much is there? 4 by V1 means 10,000 into delta T. Delta T means what you can write? 40 minus 25. Okay, that is equals to, it will becomes 4 by 10,000 into 40 minus 25. How much it will be? 15. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to numerator 10 power minus 4, it will becomes 10 power minus 4 and 4 by 15. If you can simply simplify the complete value, then you are going to get 0.266. Okay. This value is going to numerator gamma is equals to 10, 4 zeros are there, 10 power 4 is going to numerator, 10 power minus 4 it will become, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4 by, it will becomes 15. When you are going to write down the 4 by 15 value, you are going to get 0.266. So this value will be 0.266 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Okay. Now, if the point is going to be shifting to right side, if the point is shifting to right side, then immediately what happened? This value is going to be increases by 1 digit. That means it will become 10 power minus 5. That means gamma is equal to written as 2.66 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree Celsius. Okay, this is the gamma value. But in the problem is not asking the volume coefficient. What is asking in the problem? The linear coefficient is asking. To find out the linear coefficient, what I can write? Gamma alpha is equals to gamma by 3. Okay, alpha is equals to gamma by 3. That is equals to, it can be written as 2.66 into 10 to the power of minus 5 by 3. Okay. If I am going to simplify this equation, alpha is equals to, okay, 2.6. 2.6 means what happened? 3 adds are 24. That means it will become 0.8. Again 26 will be there. Again 8. So 0.88 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree Celsius. This is the alpha value will be there. Okay. The coefficient of linear expansion of that glass is 0.88 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree Celsius. Like that we have to find out the problem. So if you understand the concept and if you can remember the formulas, then the problems are very easy to solve. Okay. This is the coefficient of linear expansion. Let's go for next problem. Welcome back, students. So this problem is very important. You can take a star mark for this problem. So in the problem is saying that a slab of concrete 20 meter long is laid end to end to form a roadway. Okay, to form the roadway, the concrete slabs are going to be laying on the road itself. And how large gap should be left allowed between them when the temperature decreases to minus 20 degrees Celsius? That means while they are constructing the temperature, while they are going to be constructing, the temperature is given to you. How large the gap should be? 10 minus 20 degrees Celsius. While they are constructing the road, what temperature is there? Minus 20 degrees Celsius is there. While they are constructing the road, temperature is minus 20 degrees Celsius is there. And they are estimating that the temperature may be increased up to 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, if the temperature is increases to 50 degrees Celsius, then what happens? The concrete slabs are going to be expanded. When the concrete slabs are going to be expanded, on that condition what happens? We need to left the gap between them. So how much gap we have to left between the two successive concrete slabs we have to find out. Okay, remember that here the temperature, initial temperature how much is given? Minus 20 degrees Celsius. And the final temperature how much is given? 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, let us write down the values, then we will get some idea. So first you can write down T1 is equals to, T1 is equals to how much is given? Minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, don't forget about the negative sign, minus 20. And what is T2 is given? 50 degrees Celsius. T2 is given 50 degrees Celsius. What is the initial length of the each slab is given to you? Initial length you can recognize L1. L1 is equals to how much is given? 20 meters long is given. So it is given 20 meters long, L1. And the alpha value is also given, I think. How much alpha value is given? 10 into 10 power minus 6. So alpha is given 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree Celsius. Always remember that in the physics, whenever you are writing a physical quantity, don't forget to write down the units. Even in the final answer also, if you are forgetted to write down the units, definitely you are going to lose 1 mark. So that's why in physics, the values or the units are very, very important. If you forget to write the units, you are going to lose 1 mark. So that's why don't forget to write down the units. So alpha is equals 10 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Here no doubt we are going to use the linear coefficient of expansion. But what is asking in the problem? How much gap we have to left? How much gap we have to left means what we have to find out? L2 minus L1. So that means the coefficient of linear expansion alpha is equals to the formula is L2 minus L1 by L1 into delta T. Okay, this is the formula. In the formula, this L2 minus L1 we have to find out the change in length. So that implies what you can write here, That implies delta L is equals to L2 minus L1 is equals to. This L2 minus L1 it will be called as change in length or the change in gap. Is equals to L2 minus L1 is equals to, you are writing. These two terms are going to be multiplying here. L1 into alpha, delta T into alpha. That means what you can write? Alpha into L1 into delta T. Okay, this is the formula we are going to use here. And this delta L will represents or gives you that how much gap you have to left between the two concrete slabs itself. Okay. So find out the values. That implies delta L is equals to alpha value, how much is given? 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into initial length, how much is given? 20 into temperature difference, how much is given? Temperature difference means what you can write here? At this place you can write like this, T2 minus T1. Okay, what you can write? T2 minus T1. So, and you must be very careful while you are substituting the value set here. This is T2 minus T1. So what I am going to write is T2. T2 how much is there? 50. 50. What is the symbol is there? Minus. Okay, you can take T1 how much is there? Minus 20. So again you are going to take minus 20 at here. Okay, minus 20 and you are just going to close it. Okay, T2 50 you are substituting, minus is there minus, and T1 minus 20 degrees Celsius you are substituting. Now go on, simplify this equation. That implies delta T is equals to, okay, delta T is equals to, this is 10 into 20, it will becomes 200. Okay, 200 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 50. Minus into minus will becomes plus. So minus into minus will becomes plus means it will be 50 plus 20. 50 plus 20, how much? 70. So that implies delta L is equals to. So this is delta L is equals to, it is 200 into 10 power minus 6 into 50 plus 20, how much you are going to get? 70. Now go on, simplify this equation. 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros are there, 10 power plus 3. 10 power plus 3 and 10 power minus 6. How much you are going to get? 10 power minus 3. That means this will give you that delta L is equals to, it will becomes 2 into 7 into 10 power minus 6 into 10 power 3. 1, 2, 3. 10 power 3 I am writing, 10 power minus 6 as this is there, 2 into 7. Now this will becomes delta L is equals to 2 sevens are 14 into 10 power minus 6 into 10 power plus 3, 10 power minus 3. It will be in which units it is given? It will be given in meters. So delta L is equals to 14 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Okay. So this much gap you have to left between the two concrete slabs, so that when they are going to be increase the temperature by 50 degrees Celsius also, there is no problem will be there. They are not going to be overlap on each other, or they are not going to be buckle each other. Buckle means what happens? Both are going to be pressed to each other, and what happens? The concrete slab is going to be breaks itself. Okay, this is the gap should be left. Delta L is equals to 14 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Can you tell me this value in centimeters? Centimeters means what I have to do? Into 100. Into 100 means 10 power minus 3 into 100. 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1 means 1.4 centimeters. That means the gap between the two concrete slabs must be equals to 1.4 centimeters gap should be left. Then only what happened? The temperature increases, then there is no damage will be there for the roads. I think most of you think about the flyovers. When you are going to travel on the flyovers, you will find that there is a gap will be there between the two slabs, concrete slabs in the flyover. Okay, what is the reason that? The reason is same, the coefficient of linear expansion. When the temperature increases, concrete slab, inside the concrete slabs we are going to use the iron also we are going to use. Even concrete slabs are also going to be expanded when the temperature is going to be increases itself. So that's why they are going to left some gap between the two concrete slabs when the flyovers are going to be constructed. Not only flyover, any type of the bridges you are going to be constructing, definitely they are going to leave some gap between the two successive slabs so that they can expand in the free time. The temperature is going to be increases itself. Okay, this is the problem itself. And all of you must concentrate. Take a star mark for this problem. Okay. Let's go for next problem. Welcome back, students. So the problem is saying that a hole is drilled in a copper sheet. At the time of discussion of interactive classes, I am going to ask you this question. Okay, when you are going to take a metal sheet and you are going to drill a hole. For example, you are saying that this is a metal sheet you are taking and you are going to drill a hole. Then after that, if you are going to increase the temperature, then what happened? The total metal sheet is going to be expands. When the total metal sheet is going to be expands, then what happened? The diameter of the hole is also going to be increases. In the problem, same thing he is asking. Okay, what is the change in the diameter of the hole? So the change in the diameter of the hole, the initial diameter is given to you 4.24 centimeters. So in this one, whatever the diameter is given, that we can consider as L only. Okay, we can represent it by L, diameter also. Initial diameter we can take L1, that is 4.24 centimeters is given, and temperature, initial temperature is given 27 degrees Celsius, and the final temperature is given 227 degrees Celsius. That means it is heated up to 227 degrees Celsius. And the alpha value is given to you, coefficient of linear expansion, alpha is given 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree Celsius. Let us write down the given values first. Okay. So here T1 is equals to, how much you have to write? T1 is equals to 27 degrees Celsius and T2 is equals to 227 degrees Celsius. Okay. And L1 is given initial diameter. Okay, initial diameter how much is given? 4.24 centimeters. So 4.24 centimeters. 4.24 centimeters. And the alpha value is also given to us. Alpha how much is given? 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 5. So alpha is equals to 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree Celsius. So these are the values will be given to us. And the temperature is increases to 227 degrees Celsius. How much expansion will be there, that we have to find out. That means we need to find out L2 minus L1, the change in diameter. Here don't be confused, L represents diameter here. What's the formula I can write? Alpha is equals to L2 minus L1 by L1 into T2 minus T1. Delta T also you can write. That implies L2 minus L1. L2 minus L1 is equals to, okay, L2 minus L1 is equals to. So these terms are going to this side. So what you can write? Alpha into L1 into T2 minus T1. This is the formula we are required here. This L2 minus L1 represents the change in diameter. Okay. So that implies the change in diameter, or you can write L2 minus L1 is equals to, substitute the values, alpha value 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 5 into initial length is given 4.24 is given, 4.24 is given into T2 minus T1, this is